class in that little Pilates sessions that we've been doing. So I hope that you've been enjoying them. I hope that you are happy with them. Let me know if you want to continue with them or if you're fed up and you want to do something else. As always, just let me know. So we're following on from what we've done in the last couple of sessions and starting to add a few more bits and pieces. You can modify any of the exercises like we've already shown. I'll continue to show you some modifications. And as always, if any of the movements just don't feel right for you, let me know and we can look at a way of making it better for your body. So we're going to start lying down on our back. So when you're ready, just come on down into your back and have your knees bent and your feet flat. And let's just take a little moment here for our body to settle, trying to find the back of your pelvis anchored heavily down into the floor. Trying to anchor the back of your rib cage down into the floor. Rolling your chest and your shoulders nice and wide. And let's just take a few deep breaths here. So we're looking for that lateral breath. We're looking for that movement of the rib cage, that 3D breath here. Breathing in and out through your nose. Unless you've got a cold. Might be a little bit difficult, but otherwise we're breathing through our nose. And that's the breath that we want to do all the way through the session. We're always trying to keep that lateral breath. Okay, so we're going to start with the 100. That's the first exercise. So when you're ready, just bring your knees in towards your chest first. Keeping the pelvis anchored, we're going to curl head, neck and shoulders up out of the mat. Make sure you're not gripping through your neck. Eyes are on your abdominals, and then we're going to lift the hands higher than the hips. Bringing those legs into a tabletop position, we're going to start to pump the arms as you inhale for 5 pumps and exhale for 5 arm pumps. And we're going to keep going with this, inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. Reach your arms as far away from you as you can and curl your head up as far away as you can. Now you can keep your legs here or you can squeeze those heels together and start to straighten those legs out. Keep reaching with the arms. If you need to put your head down at any time, then do. Keep reaching. Last set here. And as you exhale this time, bend your knees in, lower your head down, and then just give your knees a little hug and just rock gently side to side. Okay, and then we're going to hold behind our knees and we're going to rock ourselves up to find a seated position. Now, we're going to play with that half roll back again. If you happen to have something handy nearby, like a cushion, or if you've got one of those like soft balls, that's quite nice. If you haven't got anything, don't worry about it. It's just to kind of give you another little modification, or a bolster even. I'm going to show you the bolster because I've just got one handy here. And if you don't have anything, it really doesn't matter because we've been doing it just using our arms anyway. But we're going to come to seated with our feet flat, knees bent, and then holding behind your knees. Okay, now we don't want to be sitting up super tall with a flat back here because that's going to make it really hard to roll back. So lift your bottom up and kind of scoot your butt under. You're trying to sit on the tailbone. So pelvis is already tipped back a little bit. Okay, and then if you're using something, have it fairly close to you. We're going to take a breath in, eyes on your abdominals, and as you exhale, we're going to start to roll ourselves back. You're trying to bring the back of your pelvis all the way down to the floor. Now if you've got something there, you can kind of then just hold for a moment. That gives you a little bit of support. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to again look at your abdominals and you're going to roll yourself all the way back up to seated. Alright, we're going to play with this a little bit. So again, making sure we're starting from that tilted pelvis. We're always starting from our centre. We're starting from our abdominals, our pelvis is tilted, and we're rolling back. Going as far as you feel that you can control it. Take a breath, and then as you exhale, you're rolling up again. And you're making sure that as you exhale and you roll back up, that your belly isn't popping forwards. We don't want that, that extra pressure there. Okay, now this time, Roll back again. And then I want you to hold it there. Take a breath in now. As you start to roll up this time, try and use your arms a little bit less. They're there if you need them, but try and use your abdominals more. So the arms are just kind of there if you need them. Let's do that again. So rolling back and then holding. Don't hold your breath though, just breathe normally here. And on your next exhale, use your arms a little bit less, or maybe not at all, and roll yourself all the way back up. So that's how you start to really build on that abdominal strength, but we don't want to go too far. So again, if you've got something that you can use, you're going to roll back to find whatever you've got there, and then we're going to take the arms away. If you've not got anything, you can still just hold where you are. Take a breath, and then again as you exhale, we're looking to make sure that the abdominals draw in rather than, again, pushing forwards. So you can kind of play with this with anything that you've got. You know, you can kind of go to your couch or your bed, or just something to lean on to kind of change that angle, so that you're starting from not sitting up tall, not being flat down, but maybe halfway in between, and then rolling up from there. Because it's really difficult to roll up from completely flat, and that's when people tend to go beyond their own boundaries. All right, let's do one more together like that. Got that tailbone tucked under. We're going to roll back as far as we can, trying to get the back of that pelvis down onto the floor. Maybe you can go a little bit further. Challenge yourself. Can you walk your arms down maybe a little bit further? Take a breath. As you exhale, use your arms less. Use your abdominals more as you roll yourself all the way back up to seated. Really nice. We're going to go all the way down and stay down this time, so let's roll down. Again, you don't have to use your arms on your legs if you don't need them, but they are there if you do. Control all the way down. Once you're down, bring your knees into your chest. Give your knees a little hug, and let's just roll out our back here. Just give it a little rest. Give your abdominals a little break too. Keeping hold of your right leg, let your left foot come back down onto the floor, and then pull that right knee into your chest. Notice what's happened with your pelvis here. As your pelvis tipped, try and keep your pelvis nice and level, and just bring the leg in. So it's getting really deep into your hips. Getting those hips moving. And then let's straighten that leg to the ceiling. Keep hold of it. Point and flex your foot here a few times. And then little ankle circles in one direction. And reverse, go the other way. Alright, we're going to do our one leg circle. So, last time I said you can either keep this supporting leg bent, or you can straighten it out. If you're straightening it out, you're going to keep that foot flat like you're standing on it. This leg that's up towards the ceiling, we're going to slightly turn it out from the hip joint, and you're going to have it as straight as you can, but if it's a little bit tight, you can have a bend in that knee. Arms down by your sides, palms are facing down, roll your chest and shoulders open. Inhale as your leg comes across your body. Exhale as you circle that leg down, around and back up into centre. 5 in each direction. Inhale to come across. Exhale, circle down, around and up. Inhale across. Exhale, circle down, around and up. Trying to keep your pelvis as still as you can. So it's just that leg circling in the hip socket, and you've not got your whole pelvis going with it. Keeping that turn out as you go the other way. Inhale, leg goes out. Exhale, circle down, around and up. You can make your circle as big or as small as you like, as long as it's controlled. When you've done your 5 on each side, you're just going to pull your knee into your chest again and have a little stretch. So don't rush. If you're not there yet, it's absolutely fine. Get there in your own time and then have a little stretch. When you're ready, we're going to switch sides. So we're going to place that right leg down and bring the left knee into your chest. Again, taking a moment to make sure that we've not brought the pelvis with the leg. Pelvis has stayed neutral and we've just brought the leg in. Hold, giving your hip time to release, to stretch. And then let's straighten the left leg to the ceiling. Keep hold of it. Point and flex here. Let's get that ankle moving. Let's get that foot moving. And then ankle circles in one direction. And reverse that. Let's go the other way. All right, and then again, you can choose your right leg's either going to stay bent or you're going to straighten it out, pushing out through your heel, using that leg as your support. Leg that's up towards the ceiling, again, turn it out, get it as straight as you can, pelvis level. 5 circles each direction. Inhale, leg comes across. Exhale, circle down, around and up. Inhale across. Exhale, circle down, around and up. Keep going. And then we're going to reverse that and go the other way, still keeping that turn out, still trying to keep your pelvis as still as you can. Might be different one side to the other. And again, when you've done them all, you're just going to bring your knee in for that little stretch. And then bring both knees in and just rock gently side to side. Our next exercise is rolling like a ball, and we've played with this again a couple of times in the previous classes. So you know by now whether you're happier to stay down at the floor and starting to get that rock in here, if you feel that your spine isn't particularly rounded yet, so you can stay down, or you can rock yourself up to seated and go right from the top down. So it's about finding the movements that feel right for your body. So if you're starting from the top again, you want to tuck that tailbone under so that you're sitting on your tailbone and we're already rounded. And then we're going to pick the feet up. We're going to balance here. Trying to pull your heels towards your bottom, eyes on your abdominals and elbows wide. When you're ready, you're going to inhale as you roll back and exhale as you roll up, because that's where the work is, in the getting back up. Use your breath. Inhale to roll back, exhale to roll up. And you're trying to make that movement as smooth as you can. And you're trying to make yourself as small as you can, but it's really difficult to keep in that little tight ball. Let's just do a couple more here. And then as you come up this time, you can lower your feet down. And we're going to go back down to lying down. So roll yourself all the way down. Again, just using those abdominal muscles to support you as you come down. Really nice job. Single leg stretches next. So we're going to have a look at hand position today, because we've not added that bit in just yet. So bringing those legs into tabletop. Okay. Now you've got options for hand position. You can either just have one hand on top of the other, not just below your knee. And that's kind of the simplest way to do it. And then you don't have to worry about where your hand position is. Or if you want to do the correct hand position, the outside hand comes towards your ankle and the hand that's coming across comes to just below your knee. So you've got one hand on your knee, one hand on your ankle. And the reason that we have it that way is so that if you kind of get tired and you start to pull, you're not going to pull your leg out of position. If your hands were the other way, if you pull, you'd pull your knee out. So you kind of know if you're in the right spot or not, if you can't really pull your leg out. And as you obviously switch sides, the hands switch. So if you forget, it really doesn't matter, just do one hand on top of the other. Let's do single leg stretch. So when you're ready, curl head, neck and shoulders up again out of the mat. Eyes are on your abdominals. Find your hand position. The hand that comes across your body goes to just below your knee. The other hand reaches for your ankle. And then we're going to straighten the free leg out. Take a breath in. As you exhale, pull that knee as close in towards your chest as you can. Elbows stay wide. Inhale, we're going to switch the legs over. So the hand that comes across goes just below your knee. The outside hand comes to your ankle. And exhale as you pull that knee in. Inhale to switch. Exhale, pull it in and stretch. Inhale to switch. Exhale, stretch. Keep going. Eyes on your abdominals. Elbows wide. Reach that leg. The leg that's reaching away, stretch it long, reach it out of that hip socket. Remembering that square box, making sure that one hip isn't hitching up higher than the other. Trying to keep your upper body as still as you can. Alright, making this your last one. And then bend the knees in and lowering your head down. Give your knees a little hug. And remember, with any of these exercises, you can put your head down if you need to. You can pop your head on a cushion or something like that. We don't want to be creating strain and stress through our neck and shoulders. Okay, so that was our single leg stretch. Double leg stretch is next. Are you ready? Again, curl head, neck and shoulders up. Holding onto those knees, pulling your knees in towards your chest, elbows are wide. As you inhale, we're going to reach the legs away and we're going to reach the arms away in opposite directions. We're going to circle the arms out to the sides, bringing your hands down towards your hips, and then you're going to bend your knees in as you exhale and squeeze all the air out. Keep your heels squeezing together the whole time. So inhale, reach your arms and legs away, squeeze those heels together. Circle your arms out to the sides, hands come towards your hips, bend the knees in and exhale the air out. Inhale, reach, fill with air. Circle your arms, bend the knees and exhale the air out. Keep going like that. Inhale, reach opposite directions. Really circle, make your arms as long as you can. Pull the knees in and squeeze the air out. So remember, inhale, fill, circle and squeeze it out. Can you do two more? Last one. And again, bend your knees in and lower your head down. Give your knees a little hug. Just have a little reset. There. Beautiful. That's a full body exercise. Double leg stretch and reaches and stretches and works everything. And Joseph Pilates used to say that is the core exercise. The double leg stretch can be found in every single Pilates exercise if you look for it. And it's that keeping that strong, stable centre and then reaching your arms or legs away in opposition and then pulling back into that strong centre. So it's a really, really important exercise. Double leg stretch. Next one is single straight leg stretch that we call scissors. So we're going to take both legs up towards the ceiling, keeping your pelvis anchored, pelvis neutral. Curl head, neck and shoulders up. And we're going to hold on to one leg wherever you can reach. And we're going to reach the other leg away, keeping both legs as straight as you can. Now just breathe normally for this one, but the leg you've got hold of, pull it in towards you. 1, 2, and then switch the leg. 1, 2, and switch. 1, 2, and switch. Keeping those hips nice and square, don't be hitching one up. And pull, pull, keep breathing. Pull, 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 pull. Eyes on your abdominals. It's really tempting to look at your feet, as I was just doing then, but try and keep your eyes on your abdominals. I'm going to do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees in, lower the head down, breathe. Single straight leg stretch. Okay, adding a new one in today. Double leg, straight leg lower. Too many words, isn't it? Double leg lower. But we're going to start with a couple of modifications and build it up, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is to make a little triangle with your hands. So you're going to bring your first finger and your thumb together, but put them under your bottom. And that's just going to help to tilt your pelvis back to make sure that we're not going to put any pressure on our lower back, okay? And then we're going to bend the knees into the chest, and then we're going to take the knees up towards the ceiling. We're going to squeeze our heels together and turn our legs out and give them a bend. So you're kind of in like a little frog position. So if I turn that way, kind of like a little frog, like that. Okay. And then from here, we're going to try and keep our pelvis super still. Okay. And we're going to inhale. We're going to lower the little frog legs down just a few inches. And we're going to exhale as we pull them back to the ceiling. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, pull back up. So we're trying to keep our pelvis still. We don't want the pelvis rocking and rolling. And again, we're watching what's happening with those abdominals. So making sure that as we pull the legs back up, as we lower the legs down both, that we aren't bulging in our belly. Yeah. Now, if you don't like that sensation of those hands under your pelvis, you can take the hands out and maybe try it with the hands out. But if you find that your pelvis is tilting forwards and backwards, then you need to either have the hands there or make the range a little bit smaller. Yeah, really good. All right, bend the knees in. Let's just have a little moment there. So that's kind of your first option, the little frog legs, with or without your little kickstand there to give you that support. And then I'll show you the full version as well. And that's just straight legs. So when you're ready, take your legs back up towards the ceiling again. And again, we're going to keep those heels squeezed into them. That helps to find that midline connection. Okay, and we're going to keep our arms down by our sides. We're going to keep those arms pressing into the floor to keep us anchored. Same thing here, we're going to inhale and we're just going to lower just a tiny way, and then exhale to pull back up to the ceiling. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Now again, if your legs are tight, you could keep a little bend in those legs. It's always about what's working for you. And if you start to find that your pelvis is tilting, that your back is starting to move, then make the movement smaller. Try a different modification. All right, bend your knees in. Give your knees a little hug. Okay, so that's kind of the full beginner double leg lower, I would say. But if we want to take it to the full exercise, we need to lift the head, neck and shoulders as well. So it's about layering up the exercises just to where you feel comfortable and where you feel that it's okay for you. So we'll try it, and if you don't like it, you've got all of those other modifications to go back to. So we're going to take the legs up to the ceiling again. We're going to take the hands behind the head, one hand on top of the other, elbows wide, and curl head, neck and shoulders up so that you can look at your belly again here. Same thing, as you inhale, you lower the legs. As you exhale, you lift. Keep them squeezing together. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Pelvis stays still, don't let it rock and roll. And then you can start to play there with how far you're going to take those legs. Remembering that we don't want the pelvis shifting and we don't want our abdominals bulging. So you build it up over time. Do one more. And then bring the knees in, lower the head. Have a rest. They are really nasty, aren't they? Double leg lower. And I mean, if you thought that was bad, we're now going to add crisscross, which is like just the evilest of evilness. Okay. So just have another breath here. And then we're going to have a little play with crisscross. So we're going to take our hands behind our head again, one hand on top of the other. Then we're not restricting the blood flow by having those fingers interlaced. So kind of like one on top of the other. And then really pressing your head into your hands and elbows are wide. We're going to curl head, neck and shoulders up again, legs are in that tabletop position. Okay, now I want you to twist your upper body. So you're going to bring your armpit towards your opposite knee. So we're twisting, and then we're going to reach the other leg away from us. We're going to come back in through centre, and we're going to twist the other way. Armpit towards the knee, the other leg reaches away. Come back in and twist. Come back in and twist. Okay, now you've probably done this exercise a million times in the gym and whatnot, but in Pilates it's really controlled, so we don't go fast, we don't fling, and in an ideal world you would have both shoulder blades up off the floor the whole time. Now that is super tricky. As you twist this time, I want you to twist and hold. Can you take your back elbow and point it as far above your head as you can, like along the floor and away from you, so you're really twisting. Come back in through centre and twist to the other side. So again, that elbow is reaching as far away from you as you can as you twist. Come back in through centre and then lower your head down and give your knees a little hug. Again, with crisscross, it's just breathing as you can. You can't really follow a breath pattern because you will be going at your own pace. So it's just remembering to not hold your breath with any of the exercises. So that's crisscross. We're going to come up now for spine stretch forwards. Hold behind your knees and rock yourself up to seated. So we've been playing with having something to sit on to give us support. You can grab something to sit on if you need to. And we're going to take the legs a little bit wider than our mat. Legs out long. So again, giving yourself that little bit of a lift will help if your hamstrings are tight, or you can give the hamstrings a little bend if you need to. We've got our toes pointing up to the ceiling, we've got our kneecaps pointing up towards the ceiling, and we're sitting on those sit bones nice and tall. We're going to reach the arms forwards, palms face down. Okay, inhale, grow tall through the crown of your head, chin to chest, and as you exhale, we're going to lift up and over, drape your body over a big imaginary beach ball. Inhale as you start to restack your spine, come back up to sit tall, and then exhale, just relax and lower your shoulders down. Let's do that again. Inhale, grow tall through the crown of the head, chin to chest, and exhale up and over that beach ball. Take a breath in, restack your spine, come back up to sit tall, and then exhale, shoulders relax. Let's go again. Inhale, grow tall. Chin to chest, up and over. So it's that sequential movement of your spine. You're trying to round your spine forwards, but your hips, your pelvis stays super still. Let's do one more time. If you imagine that you're sitting against a wall, you're peeling your spine away from the wall, but the back of your pelvis is going to stay anchored into the wall. And actually it's really nice to practice it against a wall. And as you come up, relax your shoulders and lower yourself down. Okay, just give your legs a little shake out, just come in, bring them a little bit closer and just roll them in and out, because we're going to do another seated exercise here, so it just gives your legs a little break. We're going to do saw, so again we're going to go wide, toes pointing to the ceiling, kneecaps pointing to the ceiling, and we're sitting nice and tall. Take your arms out to the side, palms face down. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, we're going to twist. And we're going to round forwards, bringing your little finger towards your opposite little toe. Back arm reaches away from you. And then turn your head to look towards that back arm. Inhale, you're going to restack your spine. You're going to come back up to sit tall. And then exhale, you're going to twist back in through centre. Do that again. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist to the other side. Little finger dives towards opposite little toe. Back hand reaches back and you're looking back to that back hand. Inhale as you restack to grow tall, and exhale to come back through centre. Let's go again. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist and dive forwards. Hold here. Notice, has that opposite sit bone lifted to bring you across? Try and keep both sit bones anchored. Inhale as you restack your spine to grow tall, and exhale back to centre. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist and dive, reaching for that opposite little toe. Hand reaches back. Inhale, reset, come back up through centre and relax your hands down. Really nice. Bring those legs together and we're going to roll over onto our front for swan. So come on over onto your front. Okay, so pubic bone anchored, tailbone slightly tucked, and you can have your legs either squeezing together or hip width, whichever feels better for you. Now today we're going to have our hands in line with our armpits here, so that your elbows are lifted. Okay, take a minute to lift your hands and roll your shoulders down your back. So you don't want your shoulders up around your ears. So roll your shoulders down your back and then place your hands back down. Pulling your ribs into your body so we're not thrusting the ribs into the floor. And can you lift your upper back away from the floor? And then lowering back down. Let's have the breath. So we're going to inhale as we lift. And we're going to exhale as we lower. Have a little play. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Try to keep the tops of your feet anchored down on the floor. Keeping those ribs pulled into your body. So if you're feeling that it's feeling nippy and tight and compressing that lower back, check that you're not tilting your pelvis the other way. So keeping that pubic bone anchored, keeping that tailbone tucked is going to keep length through that lower back. We're going to do one more time like this. And lowering all the way down. And then push yourself up and back into that child's pose, into that rest position, just to give your back a little stretch here. And we're going to go back down onto our front again. So when you're ready, come back down. And this time we're going to be on our elbows. So having our elbows under our shoulders and then two little fists, but don't have them squeezed really tight, just nice loose fists for our single leg kicks. Ribs pulled into your body. Again, we don't want to be kind of sagging, and you can kind of see how if I let my ribs go, it just dips straight into my lower back. So pull the ribs in. Pubic bone anchored, tailbone tucked. Legs either together or hip width. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to keep the toes pointed today. We're going to do kick, kick. And then we're going to lengthen and reach that leg away and lower it down. Other side, you're going to bend the knee, toes are pointed, kick, kick, and then lengthen the leg, reach and lower down. We're going to keep switching sides, two little kicks, and then lengthen and lower. Notice what's happening with your shoulders, making sure that you aren't sagging into the shoulders. We want to keep those shoulders nice and wide. Nice proud chest as you kick, kick and lower. Kick, kick and lower. Keep going. One more time. And as you lower your leg this time, we're going to lower our upper body down. We're going to turn our head to one side to rest your cheek down on the floor. We're going to take our hands behind our back, one hand on top of the other, and then we're going to bring those hands as high up your back as you can. Try and get your hands between your shoulder blades if you can, and then dropping your elbows to the floor. This is double leg kick now. So when you're ready, we're going to bend both knees. We're going to bring both feet in towards our bottom. We're going to do 3 kicks. And then as you lengthen your legs away, we're going to start to release the arms, reach the arms down towards your bottom. You can lift the arms and then lift your chest. Head turns into centre, head turns to the other side. We're going to start to lower the head. We're going to bring the hands back to the start position, and we're going to bring the feet in towards the bottom again for 3 kicks. 3, 2, 1. Lengthen the legs, start to lengthen the arms, lift the chest away from the floor, turn your head in through centre, turn your head back to the first side, and we're going to come back in. 3 kicks, 3, 2, 1, lengthen the arms, lift the chest. And you can keep your arms down by your bottom and just lengthen and reach the arms. If lifting them doesn't feel nice to you, that's another option. And keep going. So rather reaching the arms down or lifting the arms up. See how it feels in both positions for you. This is your last one. And then as you lower down, push yourself again up and back into that rest position, into that child's pose, and give your back a little stretch. Let's take a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to go over onto our back again for shoulder bridge. So come back onto your back. So you don't really want anything under your head when we're doing shoulder bridge. So if you do have a cushion or a block or something under your head, just take that out for this one. And then we've got feet and knees hip width apart. Arms are down by your side so that you can use the back of your arm to anchor you down. Take a breath. Tilt your pelvis towards you, and as you exhale, you're going to roll your hips up towards the ceiling, peeling your spine up away from the floor. Pause in at the top to take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to roll our spine back down. Trying to keep your knees tracking straight ahead, so notice if they're trying to roll out, and try and keep them nice and still. Go again. The closer your heels are to your bottom, the more you're going to work your bottom. But if you feel like you need a little space for your knees, you can take them a little bit further away. Now if that shoulder bridge feels enough for you for now, then stay with that. Otherwise, this time as you roll up, we're going to add the leg kicks on as well. So when you roll up towards the ceiling this time, we're going to hold it there. We're going to keep our pelvis nice and level, and we're going to bring one leg into a tabletop position. We're going to straighten that leg to the ceiling and flex the foot. So lead with your heel as you lower the leg down towards the floor. And then we're going to point the toe and kick it back up towards the ceiling. Try and keep the pelvis still. Flex your foot as you lower, point as you lift. One more time. Flex as you lower, point as you lift. Bend that leg back into tabletop and place the foot back down on the floor. Lift your hips a little higher. Get them nice and level again. Do the other side. Bring the leg to tabletop. Straighten it to the ceiling. Flex that foot. Flex to lower. Point to lift. Flex to lower. Point to lift. One more time. Flex to lower. Point to lift. Tabletop. Place the foot down. Lift your hips a little higher and roll your spine all the way down. Knees to chest. And have a hug. We're going to come back up for seated for spine twist. Hold behind your knees. Rock yourself up to seated spine twist. We keep the legs together. So legs out long, and remember you can sit on something if you need to. Toes to the ceiling, knees to the ceiling. Nice and strong legs. Find those sit bones here. We do want to be sitting nice and tall, ribs stay in. Taking your arms out to the side, palms face down. Okay, inhale, grow tall through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, we're going to twist to one side. We're going to hold it here. We're going to exhale a little bit more and exhale a little bit more. We do like 3 little pulses. Inhale, come back through centre, grow tall, and exhale, twist, twist, twist. Inhale, grow tall through centre, and exhale, twist, twist, twist. Again, inhale, grow tall, and twist. Keeping those feet together. Watch for one foot trying to travel past the other one. We don't want those feet to be at different positions. They should be squeezing together. All right, one more to each side. Grow tall and twist, twist, twist. And making sure that we finish even. Come back in through centre and lower your arms down. So from our spine twist, we're going to come down to our side kick. So come on down. And like we did last time, we're going to line ourselves up with the back edge of the mat. You can have your hand on your elbow, or you can have that arm straight out and lie down, whichever feels good to you. So lie on the back edge of your mat and then kick your feet forwards to that front edge, making sure that your hips are stacked even and you're not just dropped and collapsed into the floor. So we're still thinking about that lift through our centre here. Reaching out through both feet. Feet are flat like you're standing on your feet. And we're going to lift that top leg to hip height. Kicks first. We're going to kick forwards on one, deeper on two, and then point the toe and take that leg back. Do that again. Forwards on one, deeper on two, take it back. Forwards on one, deeper on two, back. Two more. Forwards on one, deeper on two, take it back. Trying to keep at the same level the whole time. Last one. And take it back. Bringing that leg to hip height now for lifts. And we're going to lift slowly for 3, 2, 1, and then lower on 1. Let's do that again. Lift 3, 2, 1, and lower on 1. Slowly. On 3, 2, 1, and lower. 3, 2, 1, and lower. One more time. 3, 2, 1, and lower. We're going to reverse that quickly on 1 and then lower slowly for 3. Are you ready? Lift on 1 and lower for 3, 2, 1. Lift on 1 and lower. 3, 2, 1. Lift. 3, 2, 1. And again, lift. 3, 2, 1. Last time. Lift. 3, 2, 1. We're going to do circles now. So brushing that bottom foot with your top foot as you circle around. Again, trying to keep your pelvis as still as you can so that you're not rolling all over as you circle and brush that bottom foot. Reverse the circle, go the other way. Keep reaching the leg long. And last one. And then lowering that leg down to give it a little stretch. We're going to sweep over and do the same on the other side now. So when you're ready, come on over. Again, lining yourself up with the back edge of your mat. And come down onto your elbow or your arm. And then kick those legs forwards to that front corner. Making sure that you're stacked and you're not allowed that top hip to roll back. We're going to do the same again with those front kicks. So lift the leg to hip height, foot is flat, and we're going to kick forwards on 1, deeper on 2, point the toe and take it back. And again, forwards on 1, deeper on 2, take it back. Forwards on 1, deeper on 2, back. 2 more. Forwards on 1, deeper on 2, back. Last time. And take it back, bringing that leg to hip height for those lower and lift. We're going to lift slowly for 3, 2, 1, and lower it on 1. 3, 2, 1, lower on 1. 3, 2, 1, and lower. 2 more. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, lower. Other way this time. Kick it up quickly on 1 and lower slowly for 3, 2, and 1. Kick it up and lower. 3, 2, 1, and up. 3, 2, 1. 2 more times. Up. 3, 2, 1. Last one here. 3, 2, 1. Rolling onto your front next for swimming. Pubic bone anchored, tailbone slightly tucked to give us length in that lower back, and then your arms are reaching forwards. Have them to the corners of your mat so they're not directly straight ahead, they're a little bit wider. You can have your legs hip width or squeezing together, whichever feels better for your lower back. And then rest your forehead down. I'm going to keep my head up just so that you can hear me, but I want you to rest your head down. We're going to start with the arms. We're going to reach one arm as far away from you as you can and lift it as high as you can off the floor, and then lower it down. Same on the other side, lift the arm as high as you can, lift it off the floor and lower. Back to the first side, lift, reach the arm and lower. And other side, lift, reach the arm and lower. Resting your arms down now. We're going to do the same with the legs. You're not going to lift as high with the legs. You're going to reach the leg long, let it lift away from the floor and then lower down. Other side, reach the leg long and lower down. Reach and lower. Reach and lower. Really good. We're going to keep the head resting down and we're going to... So when you're ready, trying to keep your body super still. Pubic bone stays anchored. Head stays down. You're going to see if you can lift both arms, both legs off the floor. Hold and lower down. Let's try that again. Keeping your pubic bone anchored, keeping those ribs drawn into your body. You're going to reach both arms, both legs. Hold and lower down. Now this time when we come up, we're going to hold it up and then we're going to see if we can flutter the arms and the legs whilst trying to keep our body super still. The important thing to remember here is to breathe, so don't hold your breath. And we're going back almost to that 100 breathing, so it's where you're trying to breathe in for the count of 5 and then breathe out for the count of 5. Let's see how we do with this one. When you're ready, you're going to lift both arms, both legs and head up out of the water, and we're going to flutter the arms and the legs. Keep reaching the arms long, reaching the legs long, and breathe here. Can you breathe in for 5 and out for 5? Breathing through your nose, keep reaching in for 5 and out for 5. Let's do one more time like that. And breathing out and lower everything down. Push yourself up and back into your child's pose, into that rest position and give your back a stretch here. And just take a couple of breaths. So from here, we're going to look at those leg pull exercises that we did in the last session. So we're going to do leg pull down and then leg pull up. Hands and knees, fingers spread wide, thumbs pointing towards each other and elbow pits forwards. Once you've got that nice stable setup for your shoulders, we're going to take one leg back and tuck the toes under. Make sure that you're nice and happy with that. And then we're going to take that second leg back, tuck the toes under, nice and stable in your plank. Don't let your shoulders drop and don't kind of let your back arch. So we're holding, breathing, and then we're going to bend one leg in, then the other leg in, and just come on off your hands and just give your wrists a little shake, whatever you need to do, just to give them a little release. It might be that that's enough for you to now work on your plank and work on that stable shoulder and not losing that, and maybe you want to hold that plank and just play around with, can you maintain all of the pieces together while still breathing? If you want to add on to it a little bit, we can then add the legs as well. So let's try that. Same thing, fingers spread wide, thumbs point towards each other and elbow pits are forwards. Again, we're going to take one leg back and tuck the toes under, and then take that second leg back, tuck the toes under, nice and stable. If you want to add on, we're going to lift one leg and we're going to rock forwards and backwards on that standing leg for 3 times. And then we're going to place the foot down and we're going to come onto the other side and again rock forwards and backwards 3 times. And then placing your leg down, bring in one knee, bring in the second knee, and again just come on off your wrists and give your wrists a little tension, a little twirl. That's leg pull down. We're going to do leg pull up. So we're going to spin around, we're going to come onto our bottom this time. And last time I said about pointing your fingers towards your bottom if that works for you, and if not you can turn your hands out to the side. So feel free to play around with that. And then we're going to have those hands down behind us. Legs out long and squeeze your heels together. It's almost a sensation of kind of wrapping and squeezing your legs all the way down to keep that connection with your abdominals. And then when you're ready, squeezing those legs, we're going to lift those hips up towards the ceiling. And you're trying to come up into a plank shape. So you kind of don't want to have your bottom down. You're trying to lift high. Hold, breathe. And then when you're ready, lower down with control. So again, you don't just want to drop down, okay, and come on off your wrists. So it's control the whole time. And even coming in and out of the movement, the transitions, we want them to be as slow and as controlled as possible. Let's try that one again. Hands come back. Find that wrapping, that squeezing sensation. And when you're ready, you're going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling. We're still looking ahead. We don't want to be looking up towards the ceiling because that doesn't put your neck in very good alignment there. Holding here. And then when you're ready, with control, we're going to lower down and come on off your wrists. Again, maybe that's enough for you for now to play on to help build that strength, stability and support through your shoulders. These exercises now are moving more towards the intermediate exercises. The beginner Pilates exercises are really designed to build strength through your primary powerhouse, which Joseph Pilates said was your core and all the muscles around your pelvis. So this is primary powerhouse, and then your secondary powerhouse is the shoulder girdle. So now we're starting to build more strength through the shoulders and the upper body. We're going to do that one more time. This time, if you want to, you can add the leg movements on, or you can just stay with that previous version if that's enough today. Hands back. Find that wrapping and squeezing, nice and stable, and we're going to lift the hips up away from the floor. Now trying to keep those hips level, we're going to lift one foot off the floor and we're going to lower, 2, 3. We'll do that again. Lift that leg and lower, 2, 3. Trying to keep your pelvis stable. Can you lift the other leg? And lower, 2, 3. Lift the other leg and lower, 2, 3. And lower your bottom all the way down. And come on off your hands. Really nice. That's your leg pull up. Little shake. And then we're going to have a look at the side bend. So introducing another exercise. Again, it's going to help to really strengthen and support the rest of your body, but we're looking at the shoulder girdle. Come down to one elbow. So this is a prep for the side bend. We want to have our elbow directly under our shoulder, and then we've got our knees bent. We're going to come up into a side bend or a side plank, keeping the knees down, but I want you to really think about using the muscles of your abdominals. It's really tempting when you do anything like this to kind of collapse into your shoulder and then to really push into your shoulder to try and lift yourself up, and that's just really miserable for your neck and shoulder. We've got all of these abdominal muscles to help us here. So we're going to press into our elbow, we're going to press into our knees, and we're going to think about using these muscles to help lift your hips away from the floor. Let's have that other arm down by our side, glued to your thighs, and then we're going to lower down. Let's try that again. We're going to press into the arm, press into the knees. Use your abdominals as you come up into that side plank position. Hold for a moment there. And then lower down. Let's do one more like that. When you're ready, coming up and lowering down. Okay, now you can choose to stay here with your knees down, or you can start to straighten your legs out. And if we straighten the legs out long, we're going to take the top leg and rest that top foot down in front of the bottom foot. It gives you a little bit more stability. Okay, and we're going to do the same again. We're going to press into the elbow. This time we're pressing into the feet and we're using our abdominal muscles to lift our hips away from the floor. That top arm again is glued to your hip, and you might not come up very far, and that's absolutely fine. And then lower with control all the way back down. You can play around with the position of this arm. Kind of under your shoulder is a really nice place to be. You don't want to be too far away and you don't want to be too close into you, but you might need to move an inch or two in either direction. When you're ready, again we're going to press into that arm, press into your feet and lift your hips up away from the floor. Top arm glued to your hip and lower it down. Shall we do one more on that side? When you're ready, lift, hold and lowering down. Let's go over and do the same on the other side. Starting with the knees bent. Again, shoulder and elbow in really good alignment to start with, and then you can play around with it. Keeping the knees down, we're going to use our abdominal muscles and we're going to come up. We're going to glue that top arm to our thigh, and then we're going to lower down. Let's try that again. Coming up and lowering down. One more time. Either staying with the bent knees or straightening your legs out long. Again, top leg comes just in front to rest that top foot in front of your bottom foot. When you're ready, we're going to come up. Top arm glues to your thighs. Hold and lower down with control. Let's do that again. Use those abdominals and come on up. Hold and lower down with control. Let's do one more like this. When you're ready, come on up. Hold and lower with control, and then come on off your arm and just give your shoulders a little circle around and maybe just turn your head gently from side to side. Okay, mermaid. You've got your different seating positions or different seating options for mermaid. Classical mermaid is both legs bent to one side, like a mermaid sitting on a rock. Now, this isn't always available to everybody, particularly men struggle with this one. And you're trying to get your pelvis as level as you can. You can kind of see how when you get into this position, your hips are not going to be completely level. So if they're really far away and you feel like you're going to fall over if you don't hold onto the floor, then maybe this option's better for you, with one leg in front and the other leg behind, so that you can kind of drop your hips down and try and find a more neutral position. If you find that one cheek is still hovering away from the floor, you could grab a cushion and put it under the side that is down to give more space for your pelvis to level out. This is a more contemporary mermaid leg position, and if that doesn't work for you, feel free to go cross-legged or legs out long, or whatever position is comfortable for you right now. I'm going to go with legs to one side. Okay, and then we've got one hand resting down on your legs or the floor or wherever you can reach, and we're going to sweep the other arm up towards the ceiling. We want to have this arm as close to our ear as we can, but if that means that you then have to lift the shoulder to get it there, then that's not a great position. So we're going to drop the shoulder down, but bring the arm as close to your ear as you can. I'm going to inhale, we're going to grow really tall, getting that stretch through the side body, and then as you exhale, we're going to take it over to the side, creating that length and that stretch. Trying to keep your pelvis anchored and down and level. As you inhale, we're going to come back up. We're going to windmill the arms. This arm's going to come down to the floor, bending at your elbow and over into that side bend. And how far you can go will depend on what leg position you've got. Again, keeping the shoulder away from your ear. We're going to come up, windmilling those arms again over to the other side for your stretch. And over. One more time. And then as you come up this time, we're going to switch our legs over the other way. So if you're cross-legged or legs in a different position, just try and switch sides, or just find a different position maybe that works for you. And then again, take a moment to try and level out your pelvis as best you can. Holding onto your legs. Arm comes up towards the ceiling. Again, drop your shoulders down away from your ears, but have your arm as close to your ear as you can. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale over into that side bend. Inhale again, let's windmill the arms up and over, and take it over to the other side. And again, stretch and lengthen. One more time. Really good. And then come in and release your arms down. We're going to have a look at seal next. So seal is another rolling exercise. So if you are still working on trying to get that smooth roll and you're just rolling your spine out on the floor, then go back and practice that one again. If you feel ready to add a little bit more and you're happily rolling all the way up and all the way back again, then we're going to add some seal this time. So, slightly different position with seal in that we're going to bring our hands together, we're going to dive our hands between our knees and then picking up our feet so that we're holding the outside edges of the feet. And then for seal, you want to press your thighs into your arms and press your arms into your thighs, so you're creating a really strong connection. And then we're going to open and clap the feet 3 times. Now the opening comes right from your hip, so it's not just kind of like floppy feet, it's the whole hip opening and closing 3 times. Once you've done your 3 claps, you're going to roll back up and try and come back up to that seating position, hold it and clap 2, 3, roll back, roll up and clap 2, 3. Now remember, when you're rolling back, you're only trying to roll back to your shoulder blades. You don't want to be rolling and putting a lot of pressure on your head or your neck. Try the seal with me. Clapping for 3, 2, 1, roll back, roll up, hold, clap, 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 roll back, roll up, hold. The thing with the seal is it makes you laugh, it makes you smile, it's a little bit of fun, gets your heart rate up. And then as you come up this time, you can hold, and then you can lower your feet down. I'm going to leave you with that for your, your next Pilates session. So I hope that you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, if there are any exercises that don't make sense in your body, you're not quite sure what the goal of the exercise is, or you want a modification or something that works better for your body, then let me know. I'm more than happy to give some more modifications or some better explanations if you need them. I hope that you're enjoying these sessions and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.